Last time on Dice Funk.
Can you have conversations with the circulatory system that just jumped inside of you? That feels important. Is it aware it's in there?
I don't know. Let me check. I feel like I have a lot of people in here. 1 second.
Juniper can talk to plants again.
Hooray!
This fragment of the Yggdrasil is tucked inside one of her gardening gloves. It is just going to be right in there on the palm inside the glove, I think is...
However, these two NPCs are mutually exclusive. They will not work together.
How come?
Because Red is like, yeah, I'm trying to get the bag. And Fortunato is like, I'm the first person born in the new world, and it's my birthright to protect it and not exploit it. They are diametrically opposed, ideologically.
I want to keep the planet safe, friend.
I've been thinking for the last 5 minutes about creating things and people who create things and why they do that, and I now have a lot of questions that I want to research. I can do research.
Hell yeah, team research!
Team research!
Research! We're gonna learn so many things.
Okay. Wait, so sorry, it's the south is the mine, north is the farm?
Correct.
Okay.
But I do have an interest in making friends.
Juniper is on board with the go make friends plan at the farm, mainly because Juniper is a little bit jealous of, oh, if I'd realised what this was, that the forest was my one. I've missed my one. I want those things now. Give me an animal.
And do you see something move on a scale which hurts to contemplate?
I know it doesn't look like it's moving now, but trust me, when a whole mountain decides to come and hassle us, you'll be glad to know that things like that are that big are moving.
I think Vimble is just going to very stealthily and quietly go over there. I feel like him being quiet is not going to be a problem.
At the edge of the property, you see a sign which says Dumah, D-U-M-A-H. That's all it says.
Yeah, that's I was getting that vibe. I'm excited.
We've stumbled upon the don't make any sounds cult.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go for being part of a cult where no one says anything anymore. Silence.
Silent
That
podcast.
sounds chill.
I saw a spark against the dark, and we erupt, but it's a slow burn. We take our chance and start to dance, can see enough to know to turn around. The sound of a bonfire carries over fences, titillates our senses, but we don't need the heat. A chill wind is pushing you into me, and it's looking like we might be burning down.
I'm the one person on this show who knows I will never get COVID because I agree to let medical science give me way too many vaccinations. COVID doesn't know what to do with me anymore.
They gave you double autism so that you'll never catch coronavirus, and that's a superpower.
Oh yeah, no,
Does it cancel out?
I can count atoms now, it's great.
That's awesome. That rules. That's so good.
You get double autism and you don't catch the virus?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a sweet deal.
That's like a double multiplier.
And her cell reception is great wherever she goes.
Oh yeah, no, I got that 7G going.
Yeah, what exactly was the problem with having 5G chips? Wouldn't we have just had internet faster?
Yeah.
That's kind of unironically the plot of the last Predator movie, if you've seen that, where there's someone who's so autistic, predators have to steal him from humans.
Wow.
Has anybody else seen this
No.
film?
Yeah. Predators are like, you don't appreciate this person. You're coming with us.
Well, no, they're like it's the humanity's reached its most perfect form. This level of autism, you can control the trains with your mind. I don't know. It sucks. It was a terrible movie.
Look, it's no accident that I came home from vaccine dose 4 or 5 and booted up Train Simulator with my train controller. I'm like, yeah, here we go. We're gonna do all the train speed runs. Gonna get all the autism out.
Yeah.
Just 3 red dots appearing on your screen.
How many more levels of autism do you think they could give you?
Well, I mean, I've yet to reach the phase where, like, I astral project and I realize that I created the universe. Like, I loop back around. I've not reached that point yet, but, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
The super speed's been pretty fun.
No, that is a bonus. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel it's deeply unfair. We're on the way out. Everyone's going to catch the lesser version and get immunity now. That's what the CDC and the WHO are saying. And I fucking got it. And I was knocked the fuck out and I couldn't record last week. And this week I'm going to be coughing, but it's only going to be Austin's problem because I'll mute my mic whenever I have to cough.
No, you're good. I'll edit it out in post. Just let it rip.
But you know what you did do, even with COVID in your body?
Get you laid?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did. From across an ocean, sick in bed.
That's how
Still got
powerful
me.
I am.
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
mess with me. I have incredible power.
Yeah. So, story time. I'm on a date. This guy's hot. 6'2". I almost got angry, but he's very much a feminist and took me to the Museum of Modern Art to some social justice thing. Barely getting by in terms of being alive. And then he's just talking and says, yeah, I watched Sophie from Mars. And I'm like, I know Sophie from Mars. And then I immediately get on Discord and I'm like, Sophie, tell me something cool.
Let me just check this. Hey, I'm on a date and this guy knows who you are. He has subscribed to you. And I said, weird. And you said, tell me something to impress him. And I said, about me? I have a double jointed thumb. And now we've achieved equality because now everyone else knows I have a double jointed thumb as well. That guy's no longer special in knowing that.
Well, he doesn't deserve to be special. So.
Is this nagging? Are you using the podcast to nag right now?
Yeah, he's not even here.
He's only a 6'2" manlet. We don't respect him.
Yeah, no. But anyway,
Tiny
I
boy.
thought I like Sophie, and Sophie has cool opinions. So if somebody likes Sophie, therefore I will like Sophie. And usually communists are like hella good at sex. So I don't know.
Many of them, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the logic is like a lot of communists have a lot of time, and also sex is free. So it's like,
Yeah, it's not all communists, but it's definitely all my fans. Everyone who's a fan of my channel is really good at sex.
Well, but that's the same thing, because anyone who's a fan of Sophie's channel is also... You have to be a fan of Sophie's channel to be a real communist, too.
That's true.
I think if you recognize that, like, it's important that you take the positive good things that you have and share them with others so that you're not the only one who has a good time and has a positive experience, that's a good setup.
But there are definitely people who will hit you with the like the people who are like just fully economics pilled communists who I suspect have stink dick. Who are just like, socialism isn't a moral position, it's just a more efficient form, more efficient economic mode. And I'm like, you, my guy, definitely do not know how to fuck.
no, that's what he says when he's around girls he wants to fuck. He doesn't actually believe that. That's like something people say where it's like, I don't actually.
That guy gets negative pussy, but at the same time he thinks that's good because he's like a big fan of MMT.
Ah.
No, he doesn't get laid a lot because he respects women so much. That's what he says.
Right.
Wow. Amazing.
He thinks having sex with women is demeaning, and it's not because they don't have sex with him.
Hey, Austin, I don't remember what's going on in D&D because there was a week in the middle where we didn't play D&D. What's going on in the story?
So last we left this adventure, the party had made their way to the farming settlement north of the original settlement where you started this campaign. You're on your way to the east to catch up with Red and the first research team because you're now kind of on a race to collect the dead gods' relics and try to get to the end of the world where...
And we found a cult commune called Silence.
Yeah. So literally the last thing that happened was our good friend Vimble, you recognized what was going on because there's all these people in these kind of robes that were giving you cultish vibes. And you saw a sign that said Dumah, which is silence. And you were like, oh, this is a cult. Oh, Lord. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you respond to that and report that to the other party members. But I want to say there are a bunch of farming animals around. So... everyone think of an animal you would like to befriend, because you're going to get a chance to roll animal handling. I guess everybody except for Xana, who already has one, but...
Well, I am greedy, so give it to me.
But basically, there are some animals milling around here that you might be able to befriend, and it's a good time to invent a pal if you have one in mind.
Okay, so picture a square, and it's my guy is just a square.
It's just a square.
And he's just hovering.
It's not even a cube. It's just.
It's two-dimensional.
I think. Yeah, I think whatever side you're looking at him from, he's a square, and that's very baffling.
He's like a Missingo.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
He's a glitch in the system.
He is a glitch. And he just hovers slightly off the ground and just hovers along because he's the ecological niche of sheep. So he is grazing, but he's just this unholy glitch in reality. So he's just like a blank square that's just like sucking up the grass as he hovers over it.
I think I know what Austin wants to chime in with.
Yeah, this is a creature that already exists in Dice Funk. It is called a witchlight. It is a missing node that floats around and pulls things apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Can I have one that's not a horrifying monster?
You can make it up. I'm telling you right now that the way that this mechanic works is everybody only gets one.
Right. Okay.
One creature for them, but you can make something up if you'd like.
I've got an idea for like one that's sort of like like you know how like I guess like it's like pugs that are just sort of like bred that like they like can't breathe properly. So like I'm picturing like sort of like that type of vibe of just like very like flabby and like not like every breath is a wheeze, and it's sort of just like sort of like a beanbag chair that's just like made of like wet skin, and then it's just like it's just like just a guy's face is what I'm sort of what I'm picturing as like the main like farming like beasts of like burden on this farm. You know, they just sort of like roll like sort of like and like just sort of like scoot themselves over, and then like in their teeth like they're not effective here. Like I feel like the cruelty is the point.
Have you ever read the book Man After Man?
No.
Where men are bred, like humanity breeds itself into different species and into like food creations and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And there's like one creature that is kind of like that, but not the same. Yours is pretty unique. But
I was gonna say this sounds like Mr. Saturn.
Just Google Man After Man and go to images, and you'll be like, yeah, Mari would read that.
No, I already said that from the description. I was like, this sounds like your kind of shit exactly. Oh my.
You're looking at it, aren't you?
I am looking at
Gaze
it. Gaze
upon it.
Yeah, this is the vibe.
Well, okay. Going on the same kind of vibe, you've inspired me with Man After Man, Mari. Vonnegut wrote a book called Galapagos, in which human beings are wiped out except for a tiny pocket of human beings who are stuck on one of the Galapagos Islands, and their tropical little paradise. That pocket of human beings, the only surviving human beings, eventually evolve into small penguin-like animals, but with no beak. So they're like furry, and like their hands slowly evolve into flippers. And I think I want to try and befriend something that is somewhere along that evolutionary chain between a person and a penguin.
Are you ready for something that's just like a little cute and not horrifying? Because I got.
Can it just be a bubble that communicates to the shimmers that reflects off of its surface?
That's a very.
And then
good
if the bubble touches you, it burns your body because it's made of acid.
No! Let me make a cute friend. I've got a cute friend. It fills the ecological niche of a sloth, so you got the long limbs and the sort of slow movement. But I'm thinking, what if a sloth had little wings? Now, those wings, not actually useful. It cannot flap them fast enough to actually get anywhere with them. They're vestigial. They're just there because at some point maybe they were useful. This thing now just has them. And I don't know. It's got a little horn. There you go. It's a little sloth-esque horned thing with vestigial wings. There you go.
Wait, what's its job on the farm?
Weighing stuff down.
Oh,
you
I like
need
that a lot. That's so sweet.
Yeah. Do you need something to be like a counterweight or a counterbalance while you're like trying to hoist something up to the top of a barn to build something? Yeah. You stick.
If
one
I
of
haven't
these,
recommended
these...
this before, we all need to be watching Heaven's Design Team, simply one of the best animes ever made, where God is too lazy to finish making the animals, and so outsources it to a commercial design team, and these are the vibes that are being recreated right now.
I love how Laura is like approaching the basket, trying to put a cute animal through the hoop, and fucking Mari is Wilt Chamberlain over here, just absolutely fucking rejecting them so hard.
Wait, no. What about the bubble that that communicates to the shimmers on the reflection of its surface, and it eats grass by rolling around in it and burning it with its acid body?
Until you got to that, I absolutely loved the idea, and I was very happy to have a little shimmery bubble friend. And now I'm gonna befriend the sloth.
You know what?
instead.
Okay, I take the acid back. The acid can be activated when it's threatened, but other than that, it's like a sheep, and out of the bubble comes food pellets. They're not very good, but they're nutritionally dense. But you have to realize that you technically are eating a bubble's poop. But it is a bubble.
All right, for the audience's elucidation, we're 40 minutes into this recording, so I'm going to say, let's get our first roll. You, Laura, you've completed your animal. Give me animal handling.
Okay. I got a bonus in that call.
Oof.
That is a botch.
I love podcasting.
You've made an enemy for life.
Oh no!
This is so good. Oh my god. Okay.
Austin,
They fucking hate you.
Austin, how did I make this, my cute abomination, hate me?
They're gonna stalk you to the ends of the earth. You'll never know a moment's peace.
At least
Laura-
it's gonna do it slowly. Because
Laura, you
it's
just
slow.
became its natural prey.
Look,
You know that.
Once they get to you.
I've just stumbled into that thing of would you accept $1 million, but there's a snail following you forever that you die if it catches you. I'm now in this scenario.
But you didn't get $1 million.
All right. So before we go any further, can you type in the name and a short description of it? I want to get all these in the chat here so I can remember it. So just get that going. I need a creature from Sophie and Sam before we move on.
Okay, so to recap, this is an animal halfway, well, 3/4 to 80% evolved between a human being and a penguin. So it hasn't grown a beak, it'll never grow a beak, but its hands have evolved into useless, flightless wings, flippers really. Its feet have grown webbed, its whole body is covered with a fine fur, and when it talks, it sounds like, like that.
That's really upsetting.
It's just like halfway person, halfway penguin.
It kind of
And-
reminds me of the movie Tusk.
Yes.
Oh, that movie,
But also,
yes.
it is on the farm because it's the niche of a pig.
So we're going to eat
And
them.
so the thing is, it is delicious. These things are delicious. And they also, it's not that they like to roll in mud and live in mud, but they are incredibly top heavy because of their human-ish heads trying to fit onto their shrinking penguin-like bodies. They often fall over and will just lie there for a long time, which is why their fur is greenish with moss and fungus that starts growing in their fur because they just lie down for such a long time with no
I have a question.
real way to right themselves. Yes.
So they have human-like heads, and they're halfway between. Do you think on the inside they still have the intelligence that we have and the emotional ability without the ability to express themselves, and the reason they lay down is because they're going insane?
They specifically still have the sadness of a human being.
Okay.
But
Because that flavors the meat. Much like pigs.
Exactly. And they're not... But they don't have the fear of a human being, I'll tell you that. They have about a half as much anger and rage as a human being can muster.
We're creating bloodborne enemies at this point.
But they're only able to hope as much as a penguin is.
What about happiness? Please make it so that they feel joy. Oh, give them the 30-minute orgasms like pigs.
They don't... So, okay, 3 things. They don't have happiness as we conceive it. They evolved that feeling out, but they did evolve the feeling in of when you catch a fish. And that feeling is close for a penguin. And they definitely have the 30-minute orgasm.
Okay. Well, if they get the 30-minute orgasm, that's not so sad.
And that's the animal. And now I will roll. I rolled it. I botched.
No way. You both botched?
Yeah, double botch.
I made an enemy.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'm more concerned about being chased by your thing.
By the most demented creature.
Sounds like it could...
Being hunted.
Let me be clear. My thing cannot chase very well at all. It's truly... it falls very quickly and stays down for a long time.
Sam, please tell us about your animal and then roll. Please also botch so you can be the most hated people on the fucking plane.
So yeah, mine's kind of similar to stuff. So mine's sort of the beast of burden on the farm, and it's just like a middle-aged man's head, like just sort of like balding. As a rule, like none of them are above a 5. Like there are ones that like aren't like gross, but like none of them are hot. And so, but then, like, just imagine it's like someone who's like just like their body is just trapped inside of like a bag, but the bag is just like their skin. It's always kind of wet, so they can't they're so like struggling to like move. And it's kind of that pug thing where like breathing is like very difficult for them. They're sort of just like every breath is like a wheeze. But it's not cute like a pug. And then they just like pick stuff up with their mouths and move it around. And they're called Ron.
You know, I want to point out the creatures I create are happy. Just saying.
Yeah, no,
your creature is amazing, and I'm only glad I didn't go for it because I don't want to be hunted by something that adorable.
I like how people were going for the naming convention of just human names like Brian and Ron.
It's a type of like when you're like picturing like the face of this, like picture like the type of guy who's like takes a shower with like resting his like hand against like the wall, like just like letting the shower just like go over his head, just being like, ugh, 10 more years of this shit, you know, that's the vibe, you know.
All right, and they're pulling the carts and the plows.
Yeah.
All right, roll animal handling.
All right, animal handling. I got a 0 in this. Let's go, baby. Nat 0. Oh no, I got 2. Sorry.
All right, if everyone failed and is now being hunted by these animals, can I have my bubble? And I promise not to make it an acid monster.
I mean, is Vimble getting hunted? A 2 seems, just high enough to just be disliked.
No, we have a botch, and a 2. This is such unmitigated failure. It's basically, last episode, you tried to talk to this person, and then they shushed you, and then you see them kind of, that person walks away and goes back to report, and while you're all walking around looking at these animals, you notice some more cultists come out, and they have weapons, and they're surrounding you.
I thought Vimble did sneak up, and that's how, he does. Vimble's sneaking in here. That's the one thing Vimble is good for. The animals hate him, but I think at the very least the cultists don't know where I am.
Well, okay, let's say I think you did roll stealth at the end of the last episode, so let's say that you weren't immediately surrounded, but they're coming for you. I think what it is, we haven't really factored in you losing the home gang yet, Dio.
Ooh.
And I think that's where the Chekhov's gun goes off, is that when enough people see you and someone, hears from someone else about the statue thing that happened in the dead person, and eventually enough people put 2 and 2 together, that this community is going to try to take you all into custody.
Oh no!
Does my botch have a kind of real world roleplay enactment, or this is just like we just did so poorly that you're just making a bad time for us?
You did so poorly. I mean, botched too. If I wanted the meteors to start falling down on you right now, I could. I would be just
There was a
fine.
pending consequence, and Botch 2 was a good time to do something.
But I need to say that like I rolled animal handling on a pengman, and so I see one of them. There's one in a pen as I walk past.
I think they hate you so much that they raise an alarm. What was the noise you said they make? Like,
Can I for like the reason that like Rons hate me is because I see them and like the sullen expressions on their faces remind me of like my servants back home, and I'm like I sort of like remark on this, and they are so offended and like hurt that like because they don't believe that they deserve to be like thought of as like similar to like people, and so they're like hurt by that, and that's why they're like angry at me.
I just saw the new Batman movie, and there's a scene where Batman visits someone in the hospital, and when they wake up out of their like terrible injury, he immediately like the first thing he says to them is like, "You piece of shit." He's just amazing.
I feel like my sleegles hate me because I got very excited and sprinted very fast towards them to make friends. And for being this slow, it's like, oh no, this is an affront to nature. That fast? Fuck off.
Yeah, so the botch for Laura, you're going to be hunted by this thing to the ends of the earth. The botch for the poor Pengman. We've called these things Ron, the Sleegle, and Pengman. The Pengmans just make such a racket that you can't hide as people come out to arrest you.
Right. I'm like, shall we be friends? And then the Pengman is like, ma, but like 100 of them all going at once.
Something about you just deeply made them even more sad, and that makes them crave revenge.
Ooh, can it be that like the Rons then like the reason that like they like all the like cultists find me is because the Rons like just pick me up by the scruff of my collar and drop me out of my like hiding spot.
Okay, so here's what happens. People with pitchforks and other farming tools that can be used as weapons start corralling the group to try to take you into custody. Vimble, you roll stealth to try to slip away. Also, Fortunato can become liquid and seep into the ground the way that she did in the dirt room in the tomb that you were in. So that's what they do, is they kind of like slurp down into the ground, leaving their hat lying in the field, and they are gone. You do not know where, but they disappear while the rest of you are taken into custody. Vimble, stealth, please.
25.
25, obviously incredible. So you can slip away while the rest of your team is taken at like spear point from their position. Like, a dozen people with like sharp pitchforks and blades and so forth like circle around the group. Vimble, you can slip away while the rest of you are captured. How does that look, Vimble? Do you just like hide in the crowd of Rons?
Yeah. I'm going to like sort of like do like a sort of like flourishy like spin with my cape, and then just like slip under like a bunch of like the Rons, and like because they're just sort of like a writhing pit of Rons, right? And so like and they like the cultists all are sort of like nothing could come out of no one can get out of there without like realizing that like how little like disgusting stuff phases Vimble, as well as like like his like acrobatics and stuff, but like mostly just that like no smell is bad enough to upset Vimble.
Oh, I have a plan to get myself maybe out of this situation. Is there an animal on this farm that I can do wild shape to become?
So why don't you read Wild Shape to the audience?
You can use your action to magically assume the shape of a beast that you have seen before. You can use this feature twice, and you regain it when you finish a short or long rest.
Okay, so Wild Shape, if you're a certain kind of druid, you can do it as a bonus action. Yours takes a full action, which is about 6 seconds. And unlike Sailor Moon or Power Rangers, where your transformation like freezes the villains, if they see you start transforming, they're going to stick 12 pitchforks inside your body.
Oh. I can't just, as they're approaching, like, ahaha, now I am a sleegle. In with the sleegles.
Well, all the other sleegles hate you, so I wouldn't go in with the sleegles.
Look, yeah, but they won't know which one's me, will they?
That's a vibes thing, right?
Okay,
They
fine,
know your
I'll
soul.
go in with the Rons.
Well, yeah, it's a sleegle that all the other sleegles are attacking because they saw you transform into a sleegle, and
Yeah, that's
the
fair.
other sleegles pounce on you.
All right. So now that we're done torturing the poor people who try to draw art of what happens in this show with all these creatures, you are safely hidden in the Ron pen, Vimble. The rest of the team is led away at spear and pitchfork point up to the biggest house here on the farm. As you're being walked in that direction, you see some interesting things. One is that there are kind of horse and buggy type situations. There's a couple different what you would call vehicles. 5th edition has vehicle proficiency, so there's an expectation that there are vehicles in the world.
I want to steal from the people who have us arrested.
I'm sure you do. We'll get there. I just want to say that these things are hooked up to the Rons because they're the beast of burden. So it's kind of like an ox and cart situation. And it occurs to you that Red has a Zorplak and the research team has a couple days head start. So if you want to get into this race, you're going to probably need transportation. And the Ron and cart situation would be extremely advantageous if you're trying to make this Oregon Trail competitive.
I would like to roll deception and be like, we didn't do it.
Shh.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm just like really scared and like, why is everyone attacking me right now? Like, I just don't.
Dio goes, shh.
No, like, see? Like, people don't even want to listen to me. I'm 13.
Yeah, 13 is not what they were looking for. It's not high enough for what I'm looking for. I think one of them pokes you in the butt with a pitchfork.
Oh my god, stop!
You take 4 damage. I rolled really high.
Oh my god.
Is it a crime to be bad at making friends with animals? Is that really a crime?
Shh.
Animals are really hard to talk to.
Shh.
Trees would never shush me.
Uh-huh. I love that as a final line as you were taken into the big house. And in here, there are a couple more people in robes and who have weapons. But then there is a big door that they seem to be taking you towards, which has a heavy lock on it. What do you do?
I think I can lockpick it. Hold on.
Aren't they going to lock us in there, I think?
Oh.
Yeah. Dio, I think, is just let in because, Dio doesn't do anything.
I think Juniper is happy to be led in currently and to wait.
Wait,
until...
guys, they never read you your rights, so I think you're free to.
I think Juniper's plan is it's easier to go along with it and to break out than it is to do anything now.
Wait. I'm going in too, right? Or no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
we're all being let in.
Do you think they'll notice if my little ham flies away?
No, I think that's the benefit of having something like this.
Okay, my little baby ham flies off, just to do what it needs to do. And can I stealth? Or is that, it's not like rogues in World of Warcraft. You can just go invisible and go.
No, that's something you have to earn eventually. You don't start, not at level 2.
Okay, I just do a really cool dance move just to show off.
You just start flossing as you're thrown into jail?
No, I just gracefully dance into the door. Hold on, what's my acrobatics? 5.
God.
Fuck yeah. No, I want to do this. 15.
All right. They're impressed, and the one who stabbed you in the butt with the pitchfork brings you a rag and some like herbs to clean up or whatever. So you get 2 hit points back because they're so impressed with your dance.
Thank you.
They feel bad. They didn't mean to poke you that hard, honestly, is what happened. They got a little over enthusiastic.
Now they feel bad because they find me attractive.
All right, so the hamsect doesn't go into the cell with you, so you can still do stuff outside. But Vimble, your friends get taken into custody by the cult, and I guess you're up, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a question. I know like they don't say anything. Are they like quiet in like all their actions? Like, do they like make any noises like when they're like I'm just like wondering if it's like all sound or if it's just like speech.
Great question. Perception to know the answer.
Can I, as the, switch into my little ham fly, grab the keys to the cell that I assume are in a ring and fly them to the door?
I got 21 in perception.
All right, so to answer these 2 questions, one after another, with the 21, Vimble, you hear them working, and these people are really going about their day, planting things, harvesting things, doing maintenance on these carts. This is a very important thing here for your journey, really, is to focus on the fact that there's these vehicles. And as they go about their work, there's normal grunts.
They're gearheads.
Yeah, there's grunts of exertion and little cries of pain if someone drops a hammer on their toe. They don't seem to be like magically silent. They just seem to be doing their best. I think like the best comparison would be like there are groups who have vows of pacifism, who when they walk they carry a broom and sweep the ground in front of them so that they don't step on any insects, is the idea. It's a real religious practice. It's like, so you're doing your best is basically, but you're not like, it's not 100% always.
Okay. I mean, and also they're what are they again? It's they aren't dwarves, but they're
like hobbits.
Most of them are halflings. Yeah, in first edition of D&D, they were called hobbits, and then the Tolkien estate was like, no, they're not. So that was changed later. But yeah, they're basically humanoid. I think they're not all strictly hobbits. There's a couple other people mixed in. That's predominant. And if you wanted to make a history check about why that might be, this would be the great time.
I can do that. My plan, though, is I want to try and knock one of them out and then disguise myself in their clothes and pass myself off as one of them.
All right, yeah, we're doing Hitman shit. I love it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, wait, history.
15's great. Yes. So after the kind of apocalypse that ravaged the old world, halflings were in a pretty bad predicament. Their culture, as written by canonical D&D, is that they're very chill. Just literally calling back to Lord of the Rings. They like to hang around the Shire and smoke that weed. They're not really great on war or conflict of any real kind. So when things got very bad, they were pretty quickly stomped on by a lot of other cultures. We saw this depicted in the previous season where they were treated quite badly by some elemental folks. So you think that some of this religiosity may be a result of persecution? I think in American schools we're all taught about how people in Europe were persecuted for their kind of Christianity and then came to America, and obviously it's more complicated than that. But then the people who went west from there, fleeing persecution, other religious persecution. This is just an interesting thing to me, is the Mormons were very, very badly treated by the people in America. And so there's a history of religious extremism, or at least a religious fervor in frontier culture.
I could be wrong about this, but when Quakers would be a good example of that too, right?
Yeah, sure. This is a subject that I think is very interesting, and there's a lot of facets to it. But with the 15, what I'm saying is here that you don't think these people are necessarily villainous so much as that they have a coping mechanism.
Oh no, I mean Vimble is here to save them from the cult.
Okay, great.
That that might involve knocking a couple out, but I'm here to help. But yeah, is there anyone nearby who I could lure towards where the Ron pit?
The Ron pit, yeah. I want this Agent 47 shit to happen. This is my favorite thing. I do want to answer Mari's hamsect question. Can you roll me investigation for your hamsect to fly around and find the keys?
19.
Ooh,
That's raw, dude.
that rocked. Yeah, so your hamsect stays outside the cell as you're all locked in. I should say that this is a very nondescript wooden room you're all locked in. It's not like there are iron bars or anything. This isn't like an institutionalized prison. It's just
This is a wooden room?
Yes, it's literally like
Bro, I'm made of rocks. Let's fucking go. I'm gonna push my way out of this.
Okay,
Let's go.
One thing at a time. So I would say this is like a barn room, or it's the meeting house room, and they put a lock on it just in case there was like a troublemaker. It doesn't seem like they have an institutionalized prison system. But you let your handset fly away, and then you switch minds with it. So everyone, you're standing in that room with Xana, and all of a sudden her eyes kind of go blank and she starts like wiggling her nose like she has little whiskers, and then outside
I like to believe that my hamsect is now trying to learn how to be graceful in my body but can't, because it doesn't know how my body's supposed to move.
Great. And you are trying to get a hang of like the butterfly wings on your hamster body as you flit around this building, and you spy. I think what happens is you kind of fly around to the first floor here, and you just see a bunch of boring rooms that like don't catch your interest. You don't see any keys, and then you kind of go up the stairs to the second floor of this, and you see. You go like around the corner and you see a door that's cracked open, and you like peer through it, and you see a figure in a black robe, not the white robes that you've seen so far, a black robe, and they're kind of hunched over, facing away from you, and you see the keys on the desk next to them.
Do you think he'll see me if I go grab him?
I think that would depend on your stealth roll or actually I think sleight of hand specifically.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm going for it.
We believe in you.
22.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm the fucking stealth hamster.
This session started off with the world's worst rolls, and it's been nothing but fire from there on out. So you quietly buzz across the room on your little wings, and you land on the desk next to this person, and you can like see a little bit past the hood of their cloak, and you get a look at their face. I'm going to put a picture and then roll 20 for you to see this character.
Oh, I like.
Ooh.
It seems like a sex party. Like in The Shining?
Every time I've introduced a character, Red, Fortunato, and now this person, you've immediately gone there.
Okay, but look at this. So how does this not look like a sex party from the movie The Shining or any other movie that had a sex party in it, where it's like, how does that not look like that?
Of all the Kubrick films, I would have thought Eyes Wide Shut would be where you would go.
I haven't watched it yet, and I didn't want to be a fake fan. I almost said it, but I was like, no, you can't say that because you haven't watched it yourself.
I admire your integrity.
So what we're seeing here is several lizard-like people wearing sexy, like, masquerade masks behind a dark red curtain covered in skulls, and also probably horny chibi angels, but the chibis are snakes or something.
But like they're also like they're all like huddled together, and like they're sort of like one of them especially is like looking out, like sort of smiling with his tongue out, sort of like, we got room for one more.
Sorry, are these three bodies, or is this like, because I interpreted this as being like a puppet show with the curtains.
So yeah, the image, which you can see on patreon.com/AustinYorski or on our YouTube channel, it's going up with this episode now, you'll see more than one face here. I want to say the one you see as your hamsect is the center one in the black hood. There's a reptilian face here and almost like skull pattern, which I don't know how much you want to say. Here's the thing. You rolled a 22 on your sleight of hand, so you can take the keys. If you want to know more, to stick around and get a better look, you'll have to risk rolling something else.
I'm looking at this one and getting 100% if someone in this community was going to be the one to behead me in the town center, it would be this one.
It's up to Mari. Do you want to risk something to know more, or do you want to leave with the keys?
I'll go for it. Why not? 15.
Yeah, good. So you touch the keys, and you're in the hamsect body, and they're like, the key ring is almost the size of you. So it's like actually going to be a pretty difficult lift to get these out of here. And it makes, the tiniest little jingle noise. And you like flatten your hamster body. When the hamsters flatten, there's a word for that. I'm sure hamster owners know.
Oh, pancaking, because rats do it too. When they relax their whole body, they turn into pancakes.
Wow.
One's doing it right now.
You pancake down behind the key ring. So this person looks over, but they just see key ring because you're hidden behind it. And you get a better look at them. They are a Yuan T, Yuan-Ti, which are a kind of snake people, or as we often call them here on Dice Funk, Sneeple. They come in a variety of forms because their genetics are very unstable. They can be anthropomorphic snakes. They can be humans from the neck down and just have snake heads. They can be, half and half in other ways. There's like a lot of different arrangements of snake and human percentage. But this person seems to have like a full snake head. And then you see now, because you rolled better, their hood, like the way their hood covers their arms, they like kind of shake their arms a little bit to get, their hands out from under their hood to like write something in a book. And you see both of their hands are snakes.
See,
Nice.
the first thing I thought about when you described, like, the different ways that the halves can combine, I'm just picturing left to right down the middle, just half
So
snake.
what's that one in the middle, sir? Is that his dick?
Mari, I'm not surprised your mind went there.
My logic makes sense. Don't act like I'm being out of order. When you're like, oh, both his hands are snakes, and I'm seeing a smaller snake in between and lower. What am I supposed to think?
His tail.
Exactly. Thank you.
Never mind. I guess.
So what we're really describing, or what I'm hypothesizing right now at least, is that this is basically a cross, like two lines intersecting, and at the end of every point, there's a snake head.
Where's the poop come out?
One of those mouths is for pooping.
No, they're anthropomorphic. It would be under the tail. Like,
Oh, he has feet. Okay.
So he has a whole, right, he has legs and
Are the feet
Behole.
snakes too?
and
So he can never masturbate.
Well, he can self-suck.
the true Ouroboros.
Yeah.
the true
I know a guy who was able to actually do that. Like he got really good at yoga and was able to suck his own dick. And his review of it was he's like, yeah, it doesn't so much feel like you're getting your dick sucked as much as it feels like you're sucking dick.
Yeah.
We've also, a lot of people know a guy, huh?
I am not good at yoga, and I don't want you spreading villainous rumors about me.
Sorry, I've just seen the full picture of this friend that all of the snakes are part of, and I like this friend.
Yeah, Levi really killed it on this design. Actually, there was a couple of different ones that we went over, and this one really spoke to me. So that the main head, that would be like a human head, is under this black cloak, but the hands, because literally from the wrists up, they're just snake heads, and one has like a little crown, and one has like a little a dandy's hat.
Laura is
That's
looking
so
at
cute.
Laura is
He's doing
looking
a
at a
little puppet
four-headed
show.
Laura is looking at a four-headed snake person in a black robe with a bone scythe, and the word that came to mind was friend.
Yes, there's a little gesture for a tail.
The body language is that of a friendly person.
He dressed up the heads. He didn't have to dress them
Now
up.
that I've seen the full thing and I look back at the top, I'm like, yes, 100% little happy puppet show for friends.
This is not an ominous person. This is somebody going to Comic-Con in their outfit.
Are you going to stay and watch the puppet show then?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I will. I'm going to pancake and watch the puppet show.
So yeah, Vimble's about to knock a guy out, take his outfit. You're about to bring the keys back. Dio's about to punch out of the room, and everyone stops all at once. Be like, wait, no, it's a friend. But I should establish, yes, the last head, the head on the tail, because it's literally the tail ends in another snake head, has a little clown outfit kind of style to it. So kind of four heads on this creature.
Oh, that's so sick. I mean, I'm assuming that his feet do too. No.
No, the feet are just feet. The thing is, you on T sometimes don't have feet whatsoever. So if anything, he really lucked out.
Right.
The best way I can describe this tale is if the rest of this snake person was very sad and went to the doctor and was like, you should go see Pagliacci, you then, the very sad tale comes up and...
It isn't quite a puppet show because he doesn't know he has an audience pancaked down behind the keys. But suddenly the Yuan-T man begins talking to himself, which is to say the different snakeheads begin conversing. First, the one in the black hood says, "Our prayers have been answered. These strangers are exactly what we need." But then his hand, the snakehead with the crown, replies back, "It would have been better if there were only one. A group like this will pose some issues. We may need to make a difficult choice." And then the other hand, the one with the little feather in its cap, says, "Let them draw straws then. We only need one." But then the tail, with the little jester outfit on, pops up and says, "Why don't we just hire them? If they were strong enough to fight Red and survive, then maybe they can just take care of this for us." And the leader of the cult sits back and considers this, and reaches over next to his desk where propped up is a scythe, which, remember, is a farming tool, but it is its handle appears to be made of bone, which is slightly ominous, and he begins kind of turning it idly in his hand while thinking. And then finally the black hooded head says, "Well, there's no need to rush and make a foolish decision. We still have our guardian." But then the head with the crown snaps back and says, "We need to be thinking long term. We need to have power for ourselves, not just hirelings. Today, it may be beasts thinning our flock, but tomorrow they'll be sending the rich and powerful from the old world, and we'll need to defend ourselves." And the head with the plume in his little hat agrees and says, "Our people come here with nothing but the clothes on their backs. When dragons start showing up, even if they're empty-handed, they still have an advantage, wouldn't you say? It isn't really a clean slate when you can fly and breathe fire." And then the Harlequin tail says, "So let's hire them first, and if they fail, then we take the power for ourselves." And the four heads go back and forth like that for some time, discussing some kind of situation you don't have all the context for, but passing the kind of scythe back and forth idly between his hands to whichever mouth isn't talking at that current time, just looking really cool in like the black cult cloak.
And I think, wow, what a look. And then take the keys and leave. And I'm like so pleased with myself. I start bruxing. And bruxing is a thing that rodents do that makes their eyes pop out of their head, but that's to show that they're happy. It's normal.
Oh yeah, my friend said that's calls that boggling, like their eyes like bug out.
Oh, maybe, yeah, you know what? Maybe it's boggling and I called it bruxing. But
maybe you're both right.
But yeah, when they're really happy, their eyeballs pop out of their head.
Can you roll me a strength saving throw to not drop the keys as you try to carry them down?
Oh my, why are you making this so hard?
Because you're bypassing my entire prisoner arc.
Fuck. And it's -1. I have a bad feeling about this one. 15.
No, 15 is great.
Yes.
Your little paws
Trying
start
to keep me down.
slipping, and you just dig deep and you hold on to them.
I'm making that sound, but like extremely quiet because I'm so small.
Vimble, do you want to roll your attack to try to knock out one of these people and take their outfits?
Yeah. What? I guess it would be unarmed strike because I want to. I don't want to like actually hurt them.
So you roll me your damage as if you're attacking, because it's what you're entitled to as your class. But we'll say it's non-lethal, and then you can flavor it how you want to.
Or wait, so it's an 18 is the with my short sword.
Definitely hits.
And then 5 damage plus 3 damage from sneak attack.
All right, so that 8 damage total or 5 damage total?
So it'd be 8 damage total.
All right, so that's non-lethal. Paint me a picture of how that works. You knock out this unarmed farmer.
Yeah. Like, I want to like sort of like spring up and then like I like not with like the like blade of the sword, but like on like the flat side of the sword, just like whack him like a baseball bat. And just and like he like falls over and then like falls into the Ron pen that I pull him into. And he's like I'm gonna like tie him up in there, and then like I'll go to like gag him, and then realize I don't have to do that, and then I'll like.
Oh yeah, I just realized that's great. All right,
and then and I'm heading towards the big house.
So Vimble has a perfect disguise. Xana has the keys with her hamsect inside the cell. Dio, do you continue Operation Bust Out?
Dio, like Dio looks around at the situation and tries to open the door and realizes it's locked. And so they just turn around and face the wall, which I assume is an outer wall to the building.
Sure.
And they just do Eldritch Blast on the wall.
Yes, incredible. Roll it.
That's 21.
Oh, there goes the wall.
Yeah, 12 damage to that wall. Matchsticks. Just
What an incredible comedy beat. This is like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You have 2 simultaneous perfect jailbreak plans, and then you incinerate the wall.
So, if we're gonna just walk out of this broken open wall, Juniper's going to, behind everyone, use mold earth to try and repair the wall somewhat.
Well, Xana's still in there because she left her body to be in the hamsect.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is the plan.
That's okay. I have the keys and I can just open the door. And then also, side note for a little flavor, Xana's body is on the floor, but the hamsect doesn't know how to control it. So they're laying face up on the floor with the veins of the god just flailing around everywhere.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Like in the movie The Thing.
Well, if you are happy to get the keys and let yourself out in a minute, then Juniper will head out the wall hole and just try and rebuild it a little bit to be like, see, we're not bad people. We didn't mean to break building. Goodbye.
Or we can roll something and see if you can get away with making it look so good. You know?
Can you read Mold Earth to the audience, please?
You choose a portion of dirt or stone that you can see within range that fits within a 5-foot cube, and you manipulate it in some ways. You can move it, excavate it, push it around. You just move it about a bit. I'm hoping.
So
that
you're making their jail better. You're actively. Yeah, you're leaving it better than you came, so they can't be mad.
I'm hoping I can take some of the bits of broken wall and just smush them back in the hole. It's not going to be a proper repair because this ain't mending, but I...
No, it's going to be stronger, though. It's made out of better stuff.
At the very least, I want to put it in a pile so it's tidy, so we...
Yeah, it's very like leave nothing but footprints, take nothing but pictures type.
Yeah.
You know, you're a good camper.
Look, it's hard to be angry at a hole having been broken in your wall when the people who broke that hole did take the time to tidy it up behind them.
So this is a cantrip, and there is a spell called Stone Shape. That's a 4th level transmutation spell. So I'm going to be careful not to give you Stone Shape for a cantrip.
Yes, I realize, yes, to be clear, I realize I cannot completely rebuild the wall as it was, and, like, I recognize at best it might look like it's complete and someone leans on it and it falls out again. You know, or it's just a pile next to the wall. I want to tidy up slightly behind myself.
To establish my intentions and where I'm going. I don't know if you're gonna end the turn already, but like Dio walks out and then just walks around the building and back to where they were captured because Dio wants to go find a Pengman again.
You're like an NPC whose pathing is like broken, and you're like, I have to go back.
Well, the animal handling moment, what happened was that Dio decided to be friends with a Pengman and looked at it, and it was distressed and started making noises, but Dio doesn't understand those noises and is going back.
Oh, Christ. This
And they
episode...
plan to kill you, too.
Oh, Lord.
All right, can I fly on over and open up the door so that I can go through it and all that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the comedy moment, right? Is Dio blasts the wall away, and then you get down. If
You get in there and everyone's gone and the wall is fixed?
And I'm just a hamster? Just like, fuck.
Well, Vimble's there in your perfect disguise. I don't know if you think that's like, oh, that's a guard, or if you two unite or something.
No, for better comedy, we don't recognize each other.
All right.
Yeah.
But the door swings open, and is Xana still on the floor?
They're trying to use the veins as wings, but it's in the wrong direction.
All right, so this is a comedy of errors, huh?
I mean, we're succeeding, so...
Yeah, and they also don't know how to control my body, so it's like really contorted and weird.
Okay, here's the question. Dio goes back to the Pengmen. Does Juniper follow?
Yes, Juniper follows. Juniper is not gonna leave Dio alone, at least.
All right. I think we're going to have a little party split here and two different initiative cues, because I think at this particular moment, the sleegles who have sworn vengeance on your kind, Juniper, these animals which fill the ecological niche of the sloth, who will not cease hunting you. They will never tire. They will never sleep until they taste your blood.
Austin, yeah, they will tire. They fill the ecological niche of sloths. No. They will always tire.
All right, let's roll initiative for the team who goes back out to the animals. That's Dio, Juniper, and Xana's body, actually controlled by the hamsect, though.
Okay,
18.
Initiative.
D&D was a mistake.
This is awesome.
18. I'm using a Mr. Saturn icon for the animals because they're all variations of human features.
Now I get the 21, not when I could have made friends with a sloth eagle.
So, my body is with you guys, but I am with the Dark Knight.
All right. So first up, Juniper. You follow Dio around the building again, back to the animal pens. You see Dio walking up to the penguin and once again trying to engage them in conversation. And they seem very agitated. They can continue those cries of like, You realize that Dio is not paying attention as this sleegle starts coming over. You have the opportunity to do something. I mean, once again, can you give me a vivid picture of how this thing moves? Because it's a sloth, so it must be very slow.
I think this is a creature that doesn't do a lot of moving around when it's not climbing on things. So on the ground, it is almost sort of dragging its very long limbs. Like, these limbs are designed to, like, grip around big trees and things. So when it's on the floor, it's like, I got too much limb. I don't know what to do with it. It's trying to manipulate its limbs to get along.
God bless you, Laura. You're giving us 10 free turns while it just, like, slowly crawls towards us.
This thing, it just has too many limb, and it's like, I've got nothing to grip on here.
Is it like the lantern guy from Final Fantasy? It's like, once he gets you, he gets you.
Oh, Tonberries?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Tonberry or that...
Touch a sleegle, you die instantly.
What if a Tonberry had very long limbs?
I'm adding this to the sleegle lore. If you touch a sleegle that has hate in its heart, you die instantly.
I will never get to Precious
I'm so sorry your creation hates you. Do you think God has abandoned us because he too fears what he created?
Well, this is what happens when I try and add something cute and nice into Dice Funk.
Do you know the "You are safe now, my child" meme, where the really long person is giving the animal with really long limbs like a food? It's like that. Oh fuck. Okay, put that in the chat. Okay, but Juniper, it's your turn in combat. Here comes the sleegle. If it touches you, you die instantly.
So I guess fuck all of my melee attacks, I guess. I'm not fighting this from melee range. I was gonna use Shillelagh and start, playing around with that, but what is my most distance attack right now? Okay. Fine. Time to kill my beautiful creation. I'm gonna cast Ice Knife.
Oh Christ! I'm having a heart attack.
Okay. Give me a sec. What do I roll for Ice Knife? There it is.
Oh fuck! This little creepypasta is coming after you. I think that's the combat challenge. It's just, can you get its HP to 0 before a number of turns go? I'm not even gonna roll any attacks.
Look, I rolled a 9. Is that enough to hit a very slow-moving target?
No, it's not.
Well, thank goodness I did Ice Knife, because hit or miss, the shard of ice that I fire explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dex save. Give me that dex.
Oh, extremely undexterous. No, bottom dog shit dex. 13.
Yeah.
That meets my dex.
A tie goes to the roll. I win.
Oh,
Shit.
so you take nothing. Every one of your slots somehow dodges my D10 and my 2D6.
I was gonna say, it's just one sleegle very slowly moving towards you. You throw an ice knife, it hits the ground next to its head, and the explosion goes off, and you're like, that must have blown its head off like a grenade. And then the smoke clears, and it's just still slowly moving. It's like a cool guys don't look at explosions. It's just completely unfazed.
But it's staring at you with loathing.
Oh god, it just hates your fucking guts, Juniper.
I just wanted to make friends up here.
That was an 18 minus 5 was the modifier there, so just a really unlucky roll.
Yeah, that's me this episode. No good rolls. Don't get those.
Okay, Dio, it's your turn. Like I said, the way this fight is going to work is you all get 3 full rounds to try to stop this animal. If it gets to Juniper, it just kills her.
Who's ready for me to roll a new character next week?
Okay, so Dio walks up to the Pengman pen and uses Speak with Animals, which I can use at will without using a spell slot. Mm-hmm. And I say, you gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. That's what happens. And I say, we're going to be friends to the nearest Pengman.
Yeah, you say that to the nearest Pengman, who I want to once again reiterate has animal intelligence, is not an awakened creature. So it just says, I am food.
And Dio says, no, you're a friend, and reaches into the pen to pick up the Pengman and carry it away.
Wait, what?
So Dio was contented living in a life as part of an organization as an object in the belonging of other people, and then was switched on and told that they can not. There's more to life than that, and they can be liberated. But it wasn't their choice, and now they assume that is the natural process. Is that you just take things, you just take dudes and make them your friend.
I mean, is that wrong? Or is that not how you do it?
So that's what Dio is doing to this Pengman.
I was going to say, just to clarify, Dio is spending the turn not fighting the thing that will kill me on contact.
That is correct.
Yeah,
that is
cool,
correct.
Thanks. That is a fascinating roleplay choice.
Fascinating with the world's biggest scare quotes.
But I am liberating the Pangman, so.
You are, and I'm very glad. This thing will kill me.
Only if it touches you once.
Strength contest, Dio. The penguin does
Okay.
not want to go.
Okay.
I rolled a 13.
I rolled a 18, motherfucker. Yes. Okay.
All right.
Okay, you're coming with me.
It's your At the Mountains of Madness problem now.
That's good. I like that. Yeah, that's very good. We're gonna be friends, Dio says, picking the Pangman up out of the pen.
I guess beast speech is still active, so the penguin says, "Eat me."
And Dio has this like ear to ear grin as they say no.
So the rest of they're just they're just like while you're asleep trying to sneak into your mouth.
Yeah. Xana, it's your turn. So your mind is still in the hamsect. What does your body do?
Okay. So Xana is on the ground. Well, Xana's body is on the ground, flailing around as one does when you're a hamsect. And, you know, your brain is not as developed as a more sentient or sapient?
Sapient is like human intelligence. Sentient is just aware of itself, like animals are sentient.
Sapient intelligence. So it's harder for the hamsect to control Xana's body is for Xana to get used to the hamsect's body. Also, the hamsect's just having a good time flailing around with the veins flying everywhere. And then just suddenly, Xana gets up and stands correctly and has all her veins inside of her body where it should be, supposedly. And then the veins burst out and make the snatchiest looking dress ever out of the veins. And it looks really cool. Anyway.
All right.
So now I'm ready to fight. Can I use my spells when I'm not in my body? Is
Yeah.
in the body?
Yep.
So my body can still use my spells?
Absolutely.
Cool. And I want to prevent the nightmare sloth from getting Laura. Okay.
I'm pulling up Laura's description again. It has long limbs, cute but unresponsive gaze, and purple fur.
Oh.
It has wings, which one assumes are probably vestigial. It has a prehensile tail.
I use hideous laughter.
All right, as a wisdom save, we've used that spell in episode 2 already, so audience should be familiar. Botch -1 is 0, so
That thing's fucking laughing to death.
a creature with an intelligence score of 4 or less isn't affected.
I wish you had told me that beforehand. But it got a 0, so I don't know. So that's just a wasted turn.
It appears so, yeah. The sleegle does not know enough outside of hate to find anything funny. It is. It knows only spite and death and blood, and it moves closer to Juniper.
Okay, so we've each used one round and not done any damage. Not one of the three of us in a round of 1/3 of our combat time is done and we haven't touched it.
Correct.
Okay.
Did Juniper run away?
Well, I mean, I can do my big rabbit hop if
You
I...
can literally walk away.
It will never stop.
That's the problem.
I know, but
It
we
will
could just
never
take
stop.
a few steps back.
Look, we're doing another round. I'm gonna try.
Okay,
I need to not live in fear of constantly being chased by my own creation.
Oh God! I do want it. I want it written on Juniper's tombstone that this was Sophie's idea.
she played God and prayed.
So is it my turn in the combat round?
Yeah.
Okay, Austin, if I do Earth Tremor and successfully create difficult terrain, will that slow their approach? alongside the damage it does. I can knock them prone. Does that buy me some time?
Well, they're already prone.
I mean, my comedic instincts tell me that this thing is implacable, like the snail from that Reddit post. And it's like, it will not be stopped.
See, my gut response, and I'm going to shut my own plan down here, is I think that the wings maybe aren't vestigial. Maybe everything about this thing moves slow. The wings can move fast if it wants to start floating slowly at you.
It's like when you see a cockroach, you go to smash it, and suddenly it starts flying.
Yeah, no, the wings flap real fast. It's still gonna move slow. It just will be slow in the air now.
Maybe this has like never happened before though. Like it's just like you awoken this new evolutionary
Hates you so much
development
in the sky.
just by pure like will and hatred. It's like willed itself the ability to fly.
Like the Dumah cult found these things, and let's say, let's raise a couple, see what they're like. And they had no problems with them until they saw you. And that was like the key that unlocked their true heart.
Okay. Let's try the other ice knife.
That hits. Absolutely. And then I have to save against the explosion. 7. That fails. So double.
Yeah.
You
So let me do the 2 bits of damage. I do a D10 for the first hit.
If this is like 1 damage, I swear to God.
2 damage out of 10. And then
You jinxed it.
and then we do the explosion, which does 5 damage out of a possible 12. So 7 total?
Yeah, so its wings start flapping. You throw an ice knife into its back and it explodes, and that its wings like flutter to a stop. You keep it from like leaping and do 7 damage, which seems significant for just an animal. So that's a good turn. Dio?
Dio is walking towards the vehicles to get out of here, but at the same time, they sling the Pangman over their shoulder. They're just carrying it away. And because I think how I've mapped this out in my head, at least, the vehicles are on the other side from the the sleegle is between them. So as basically Dio walks past, like just walks out of the fight, but just on the way out of the fight, Dio does an Eldritch Blast with their free hand.
Okay, just a very casual.
Just like finger guns the sleegle on the way to just leave.
Good.
That's a 19.
That hits.
And that's 11 damage.
There we go. All right, we've put 18 total on this thing, and it's Xana. You see Dio casually, offhandedly blast this animal. What do? You're wearing a cool vein dress.
Yeah, so Xana has a kind of blank look in her eye and her mouth is kind of open. And then she kind of lights up and has a big smile. I'd like to hit it with my rapier. My bedazzled one.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to...
Its color shifted to red to match my dress.
All right, that's sick. I mean, this is 100% just a bloodborne weapon, like the vein rapier. Knock us out.
14.
That hits.
6.
All right, so you lunge forward and you stab into its like side while it's on the ground.
Yeah, and I'm like really smiling very wide about it. A little bit too much. Like my face shouldn't do that.
I like this because I think you stab into it really like full abdomen impalement, and it just like pulls itself out and keeps going towards Juniper in a really upsettingly single-minded way. That's the second turn. It is approaching. Juniper, your turn.
Okay. God, we cannot miss.
Can I just throw something at it at this point? I don't want to get closer.
I mean, I think statistically, Shillelagh is a bonus action, right? So you can do Shillelagh and
It
then
is,
bonk.
but I don't want to risk getting into melee range of it.
You're dead either way.
Austin, if I get near and I botch, you're going to want to have me trip over and touch the thing. I don't want to get into a range where if I botch, I trip over and I touch the death sleegle.
Please don't make us lose our only moral compass in the party.
I didn't do this. I asked you to make a friend.
I tried to make a friend, Austin. You could have just given me a friend, but no. I had to roll a dice, and the consequence for a botch couldn't just be they didn't like me.
This is much funnier.
I cast Shillelagh. So now I can use my spellcasting ability when I do a thing. So I'm gonna try and just bonk it on the head.
Oh my god.
Just a bonk. 11.
11 hits.
Okay.
Hooray.
Let's. Oh, yeah, this has a +1 as well as the roll, so I'm gonna do at least 1 damage. Okay. Come on, watch me do exactly 1 damage. No, okay, now I do the big damage. 7. Oh.
Nice.
She obliterates her own child, the creation she once loved, just like in the movie Alien Resurrection, where they had lesbian sex with an alien.
I really hope that every sleegle hates Juniper this much on sight.
No, here's the thing: is I think you bonk this sleegle real hard, and it curls up and goes into a hibernating state. And once it's done healing, it'll be back after you. You can't stop it.
See, the trees would never do this to me. The trees can be reasoned with.
It has one mission in life.
Austin, can I do a nature check someday to find out the nature of this thing and how to undo the curse I have wrought?
Yeah, I mean that's like part of your story now. This is kind of Juniper's journey, is to learn about plants while running from animals. Your greatest friend and your greatest foe.
Look, I did say when coming here, animals are the worst. They make terrible conversation. Not a fan.
Why did you instill this gentle creature with such rage?
I'm gonna find a way to disintegrate this thing into atoms so that it can no longer.
No, it comes back like Jason.
Look, I'm glad I saved my cutest animal idea, not for this. I didn't take the risk. Didn't do it.
You are safe now, my child.
So the flavor of your shillelagh is you have the living shard of the Yggdrasil in your glove, right? And your hands go, and you just bop them. What's the flavor of the actual finishing blow?
On my character sheet, I have a quarter staff. I don't know if, as I've not melee attacked yet, I don't know if I want to reflavor that as what's a gardening tool that I could have that would fill that role.
A trowel, a rake.
Yeah. Okay. The wood, the handle end of a rake.
Okay. Juniper's just had a rake
on the head with the. Yeah, Juniper has a small rake on her back, and she just does a little bonk on the head with the handle.
A note for the HBO adaptation is that you're going to need to use a narrator, maybe Patrick Warburton from Series of Unfortunate Events, to explain to the audience that if the sloth touches Juniper, she dies. But actually, none of our characters canonically knew that. In the combat that just happened.
No, she could feel it in her heart.
Yeah? she could just look at the sloth and she knew.
I think Juniper knew.
I think Juniper.
I think Juniper had.
That's part of the curse.
Yeah.
Is that you know.
That's the thing about it, is none of you have seen this animal before. No one really has, but when you look at its eyes, you just instantly know. That's the only outcome of that kind of hate.
I'm gonna throw some context here, some backstory. I think this has happened before with Juniper. I don't think this is the first time an animal has decided no. Look, maybe there's a little tiny bit of why Juniper left the last world is there's a badger out there that really doesn't appreciate her.
I mean, this is honestly really in character for rabbits. This is some Watership Down. Everything's out to get you. Shit.
Look, why do you think Juniper is so skittish? There are animals that will hunt her to the ends of the earth. And hopefully not into this world. She hadn't seen that badger yet. Hopefully it hasn't made the trip up the mountain.
All right. So that fight was so exciting. I didn't even cut back to the other one because there is another one. Vimble, you're in your perfect disguise. You reach the cell. The hamsect unlocks it. The cell is empty. What are you two doing when the snake man upstairs comes down to check on the sound of the wall exploding?
Is there a way for me to like to tell him? Is there anything I can roll through a series of squeaks to make him understand the snake is all snakes?
That's a good question. I think insight from Vimble to see if you can understand that Xana the hamsect is trying to communicate stuff to you.
Yeah, you know what? It's okay. So he went to a frat, and I also been going to college and know like the secret frat codes, and so I frat coded in squeaks.
Okay.
See if he like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's like thieves can't, but for frats. And then there's a very specific one for like a cult leader made of snakes.
Yeah.
It comes out more often than
Let's
you
see if
think.
he remembers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 insights.
Nope, that's not
People
it.
didn't get invited to a lot of frat parties. I should say that.
But you bought your way into all of the fraternities.
Yeah, but you don't get to learn frat can't by doing that.
They taught you the bad frat can't as a joke. They trained you wrong on purpose.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. So what? Wait. So what do I think that she said?
Your outfit's so cool.
I'm like, thanks. It's a pretty good disguise.
Your outfit's so cool, dude.
And then like I'm going to like frat can't back to her. And like I'm like I frat can't back like thanks. Like I used all my like stealthing skills to get in here like this. And actually what I'm saying though is I'm a dumb piece of shit and like no bitches. And, like,
Maidenless. Touch grace.
yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Fuck. All right.
So yeah, that's what happens. Okay, so like I see like there's like an empty cell. Can I like investigate?
Yeah, so this snake man's coming down the stairs. Xana in the body of the hamsect tries to warn you that miscommunication bears no real fruit. So if you want to be rolling investigation while this man approaches, hit me with that.
8.
We could go inside the cell because we have the keys.
Yeah, the door's open. With an 8, you fail miserably. You look around, you see the wall was shattered, and then someone tried to like push some earth up to fix the wall, and it didn't really work out the way they wanted to. It's empty. You're like, as far as you know, they left and they abandoned you. Like you're just fucked and shit out of luck. And at this point, the man reaches the bottom of the stairs, and you hear the sound of the scythe being like tapped on the ground like menacingly as he walks over, just like tap, tap, tap.
I try my best to communicate like, dude, just don't fucking say anything. Just don't, please. I'm begging you. Because she's now realized that she is at the hands of an idiot.
And so this man reaches out with the tip of the scythe and like touches you on the shoulder in such a way as to turn your body 180 degrees to face him, because he doesn't speak right away. He doesn't speak at all as far as you know. And you're face to face with this man we've described before. He's a Yuan T. He has this is a hognose snake is the kind of snake this is. So it has like a skull pattern on its snout that is actually just part of the scaling, but it does evoke a skull mask. So that's unnerving. And you see both of his hands are also snakes, and his tail is a snake, and they're all wearing different little outfits. What do you do?
I'm gonna like try and like play it off as like I was like going to look for the prisoners, and I'm like trying to be like pointing at the thing, being like mime hand movements, like where'd they go? Is like the gist of my hand movements, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Perfect. Roll deception.
Okay. -2. Let's go. 17.
Holy shit.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, that's so good. This man's hands turn to him and their mouths move. You don't hear anything, but it seems like he's whispering in his own ears with his hands. And he turns to the other hand and like hears what it has to say and then nods. And it seems like the hands and the head are having a little conference. And then he nods and beckons you to follow him upstairs.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
No, God, fuck. I fly out of his head and leave.
I love this. Xana, so you said before that sometimes you're like, oh shit, I keep helping people even though that's not in character. So I like that you're abandoning him when you have the chance.
I'm getting away. I'm so helpless and I don't like it.
Incredible.
I just fly out, how I got in or whatever. I don't know.
His back is his back to me or?
So he's...
Well, the snake. There's a snake with the tail. Snake has eyes on me, though, right?
I was literally about to say you're never to his back because he can see behind him with his tail face.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just try and play. I'm gonna try and play along and follow him.
Immune to backstabs. Don't you hate those enemies when you do a stealth build and there's the guys you can't sneak up on? It's like, come on. So this character leads you back upstairs, kind of dragging the scythe on the ground behind him, and the blade isn't so much cutting the floor as it like the floor seems to undulate and waver to get out of the blade's way, and then reforms back to where it was.
Okay.
And he just goes up the stairs, and you follow, and we don't know what's happening to Vimble for a minute here. This is interesting because you have successfully deceived him. Back outside. Xana, you're in the hamsect's body. You fly out. You see your body covered in veins and arteries, looking real badass with a bloody rapier as everyone is gathered around the comatose sleegle.
I'm wearing red lipstick by now with black liner.
Sick. The other members of the Dumah cult are have saw this fight and are shocked, but they're not attempting to retake you into custody because they are now, they're scared because you're all armed and you're...
I went to obtain a vehicle.
Yeah, so that we need to deal with that next, but I want to establish that there are, a couple dozen people here, but they're unarmed mostly. Maybe they have farming implements. Now that they've seen you do magic and fight and stuff, they're not immediately eager to take you back into custody because you escaped immediately and you seem badass. So that's situation. As Dio, you go over to the vehicle. I assume you don't have vehicle proficiency. That would be wild.
No. That would be very strange.
Wait, can I do a dance to make the big heads like us again?
The big heads?
Yeah, the big heads. I can't remember their name.
Oh, the Rons?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. One thing at a time.
It's not the Rons, it's just the Ron.
Okay, the Ron.
That's also the rule with the Brian. I guess we're just going with... Or just Brian, not even the Brian.
Brian.
With
Brian. Yeah.
Can I get a raw D20 for Dio to look at this vehicle? You've never seen one before.
Absolutely. God,
it
yeah.
could just...
That's so exciting. That's so good. This is perfect for me. This is exactly my character. So I see... Wait, tell me what kind of vehicle I see.
It's kind of a horse and buggy. I'm thinking specifically of...
But with a Ron?
With well, yeah, that's the question. Is it hooked? It doesn't have a Ron immediately hooked up to it, but it looks like it can. I'm thinking of the Oregon Trail buggy, literally in my mind's eye.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's a 5.
You think it's an animal, and you're trying to find the face to talk to it.
I'm saying to my Pengman, is this one of your friends?
All right, so that's the situation. Is there's this buggy you desperately need to catch up with the other people who are racing you across Arabella, but Dio doesn't know what a buggy is. It's not hooked up to a Ron. You don't know that these people give you a Ron. They seem scared. There's a lot going on. Does anybody want to do anything out here?
I just want to fly to my body and get back in there.
All right, you land on your own shoulder, switch back.
And then I begin to dance for the Ron.
Okay, do you want to roll performance? Roll performance, dance
Yeah.
for the Ron. Well, did you say it was the writhing Ron something earlier?
It's the Ron pit, right?
Yeah, the writhing Ron pit.
20.
Like that, yeah.
Oh, critical. The Ron's fucking...
Oh my God.
Ron adores me. They are I am their god.
Oh my god, another crit. Xana.
No. Wait, no. Oh no, we're done.
You can't have a second animal, but it's very
No,
funny.
no, this is dancing. This is dancing. So now they just all run. All run, love me. They just love me. This is something different.
No. I mean, you know, you could pick the Rons over your hamster.
No, because this is dancing. My intent was to make the Ron friendly to us so that they would willingly, let us ride them. We could all get a Ron and ride them. I don't know.
I think that this crit's very good and important because you can get friendly Rons to pull your wagon and
exactly.
to get back into the race. But it's just very funny that you keep critting and you also got the relic. So your character is just really OP.
I mean, it kind of fits. I deserve it.
Look, at some point we're gonna find whatever would be the god that you would want, and Juniper's gonna get it and be like, "We'll do tradesies. I want the nature one."
Oh yeah, I'd rip the heart out. You take out, I don't know, the brain.
This season. Mari is playing that bitch. She's fucking great at everything, and you wish she wasn't because she sucks, but she just keeps getting away with it.
You can't fault her results.
The dance was incredible because the outfit was already insane.
Right? True.
Like it had a little thing on it.
Juniper just heads over to Dio and goes, "So, lesson for today. Sometimes friends don't want to be friends. The sleegles, not a fan. Sometimes that's just how it is.
We're going to be friends.
I'm sure you are. The sleegles,
I don't want to be friends with your enemy.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. I wanted to be friends with them. They did not want to be friends with me, but that's okay.
You need to help us make friends with this. And Dio points at the buggy.
Yeah. I will help, but you have to help keep an eye open to make sure there's never a sleegle near me.
Quick question. Does it matter to you if we force them to love you?
Look, as convenient as that would be for not having to watch my back 24/7, not a big fan of it morally. As much as I would love to just cuddle while there's friends.
Yeah, but if they touch you, they'll die. I could tell by the way I was looking at you.
Well, see, yeah, that's the thing. So I'm just gonna leave, and hopefully they'll not have a lifelong grudge. That'd be cool.
Anyway, did you guys know that there's like a snake thing, but it's like all snakeheads, like all of its body parts are snakeheads?
Wow, that sounds crazy. But also, I got someone who, like, like how you got me, and you said like I'm your property, but I'm not other people's property. Well, I've got one as well.
Okay, so that's your pet, right?
Mm-hmm. The penguin leans over to you, Dio, and says, "I taste good baked, broiled, and fried."
It wants to be eaten, but I don't eat food, so we're friends.
Okay.
What do I do with it now?
Like you have to train it to do what you want, like tricks and stuff. And then also love you forever. So you have to be its only source of food and nourishment and comfort for an extended period of time so that it has no choice but to rely on you and then confuses that with love.
Or just be nice and see whether it likes you in response. That's also an option.
That's what I said, Juniper.
Dio looks from Juniper to Xana and back and forth a little and realizes that what Xana has described is not how Xana has been treating Dio. But what Juniper describes is how Juniper has been treating Dio. So maybe Juniper is the one that Dio should be listening to.
Yay! Hooray!
At any time during this conversation, does the question of where Vimble is occur to any of you?
I don't care.
No.
Anyway, so let's go.
Incredible. Up in the second story of the big building, the snake man leads you to his room. And once you're inside, he closes the door, Vimble, and then he takes out the scythe and he traces a circle around you and him. Like a large circle, like on the ground with the scythe. Once again, like the wooden floor almost parts in front of the blade rather than letting itself be cut, and then settles back down into an unblemished form. And then the snake man turns to you and says, "Now we can talk."
He's gonna do like he's gonna put on a voice that's like quite racist about that's like of an impression of hobbits first.
Okay.
I don't know what that would be, but like whatever like the most racist one is, he's gonna do that and then just be like, I was coming in to check on the prison. I came in, the door was open and they were gone. I don't know what's going on.
Is that Samwise Gamgee, I guess, is the stereotypical?
Yeah.
I'm just doing. It's just like just a dumb guy voice. Like this is like how like gnomes like this is how like halflings talk in jokes gnomes tell about them.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, can you roll performance to see how well your impression comes across?
Well, he was coming in to check on the prisoners, Mr. Frodo.
Potato.
1.
Oh, that's a 1.
So with a 3 minus 2, just a 1, not a botch, but a 1, he understands that you're doing a fake voice, and his hand heads have a little conference with him. You hear one of them say, "He's disguising his voice. Why is that?" "I don't know. It must be some sign of deception. What should we do about it?" "Kill him! Kill him!" No, come on. We have to find out the truth before we kill him. Now we must be fair. And there's like having all these, the little clown head on the tail pops up from like under this conversation and it's like,
Yeah.
"He sounds like a friend!" And they all start chattering to each other. What do you do?
And I'd be like, like with my regular voice, like, "Sorry, it's just a bit I've been working on for like, I kind of want to get into doing stand-up comedy.
Oh.
That will work.
I think my impression needs some work. It's just a character I was doing. Sorry about that. Not the time or the place."
What at this point I'm gonna stop specifying the heads. They're all just gonna talk to you, kind of switching back and forth, all 4 of them. But it says this character says, "So, what's your real name?"
Yeah. I'm half Lingington.
Fine. Are you here to infiltrate our community, or do you have some kind of sinister purpose?
We're just passing through. My name's Dark. My name's Half Lingington, but you can call me Dark Justice, righter of wrongs wherever I find them.
Oh, quite amusing. That's not funny. Yes, it is. Oh, this little guy. I have use for you. You right wrongs. Well, someone just blew apart my first floor room. How do you expect to right that wrong?
Destruction of property is one of the greatest crimes of all.
So you're not with the others? I assumed that they were your companions.
like it's like dawning on Vimble that like they did that like that was just like his like immediate like gut reaction to hearing that someone like destroyed this person's barn.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
This isn't like that wasn't him like trying to deceive them. It was just like like him like you know, he like his face sort of falls as he like has to reflect on the fact that they did what he considers to be equivalent to murder.
Oh Jesus.
Oh no. Listen. I've had to fall in with a bunch of rogues and scoundrels. I'm sure someone like you can understand needing to blend in with less savory characters in order to succeed. I'm sorry about the wall to your barn.
No, I would never blend in with unsavory characters. I am royalty. We lead this whole community and keep it safe.
I got bad feelings about these puppets.
Yeah, I don't.
It's giving me a
I
bad
don't know.
vibe.
I like the puppets. I think they're chill. You know.
Is there any way I can like figure out anything about him? Like,
Yeah, insight.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, Laura, that one puppet. Who does that remind you of?
Okay, I got a 19.
Yeah, 19 insight's very good. So you get the sense that this person, because the way that their genetics worked out, each of their heads does have its own brain, so that this person is conflicted with themselves. They maybe have several different agendas going. So maybe one of the heads does think it is doing the best and right thing, and another head has a more sinister agenda, and one is just a fucking troll. It's like a very conflicted character. You think that you could align yourself with this person for purposes of getting out of this, if you want to bring your friends to justice in some way. Like, that's a legitimate offer.
Wait, like you're saying like one of the heads is like thinks that it's doing the right thing, or like, and then like other ones are like sort of like less so. I'm gonna like focus on like just talking to that one.
Okay. I think also while the one is talking, the other three are whispering to each other at the same time.
I'm going to just sort of like focus on like, wait, which one is the one that's like thinks it's like doing a good thing?
I'll say the one with the crown. There's the crown, the hood, the clown, and the what do we call this one with the little? This is the dandy. I'll say that.
Nice.
I think
Okay, I like that.
I'll say the one with the crown is like, yes, I am a proper leader and I'm leading my people.
I'm so I'm going to like be like, my liege, even though I think that the guy in the cloak looks a bit cooler, I'm sure that you and I can agree that justice is the most important thing of all, and that we my friends and I, we simply are trying to we're on a journey and accidentally happened upon your community. We meant you no harm. We are on a quest to rid this world of crime forever.
Good. And the Yuan T man puts his arm on your shoulder, Vimble, but it's less of an arm and more of like a heavy snake. And as he explains his plan to you, the snake kind of, idly winds around your arm like a constrictor, not squeezing to hurt you, but just to hold you close as he explains what he wants you to do and how you can keep the community safe and how you can create a world without crime. And when he's done explaining his plan to you, he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself." "You're gonna laugh when you hear it, but it's what Mom named me." "You can call me Laser."
I saw a spark against the dark, and we erupt, but it's a slow burn. We take our chance and start to dance, can see enough to know to turn around. The sound of a bonfire carries over fences, titillates our senses, but we don't need the heat. A chill wind is pushing you into me, and it's looking like we might be burning down. But we're a bonfire, we keep putting in. Oh, we're a bonfire, I keep putting in, you keep putting in.